Hey guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. So today we'll be making the ruffle sleeve, the ruffle rose sleeve as shown on the picture. So first off, we would like to have a square shaped fabric on the table. Square shaped meaning that the length and the breadth will have to be the same size. As you can see, we're taking the same. I'm using 20 inches for the length and 20 inches for the breadth, so I can have a 20-inch square shape fabric on ground. So next off, we're going to just mark the sides, the 20 inches, so that we can be guided on how to cut it. After marking the sides, after marking the 20 inches, we'll go ahead and try to draw a circle. Try to make a circle, draw a circle inside the square. Try as much as possible to make sure the circle looks very even inside the square. Okay, then after that, depending on the length of clearing you're going to be using, of horsehair you're going to be using, that's what you're going to use to make your the line, your spiral line that you're going to cut through. So we go ahead and I'm using a 3-inch clearing, so go ahead and measure 3-inch round, 3-inch round my circle, starting from one point. You can see the point I started from. Starting from that point, I'm just going to take 3-inch round. I'll keep taking 3-inch with my tape as a guide, 3-inch round the circle. Okay, just as so. So after taking this 3-inch round, you just draw it round in a way that you can see what you. It's advisable you use a chalk that is quite different from the fabric, so I can actually see what you're doing, because it can be very confusing at times. So after doing that, we're going to cut the spiral off of the square we created. So this is me cutting the spiral off the square for us to have um the piece we are going to be sewing the clearing to. Remember I said I'm cutting my spiral line with the length of clearing I'm using, so I don't have excesses dropping by on my clearing. So after doing that, I'm going to go ahead and sew my clearing. I'm going to go ahead and sew my clearing to the fabric. So now let's cut. Yes, please do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave a comment below if this was helpful. Okay, so now we're done with cutting. We're done with cutting our flounce, our spiral flounce. So we'll just go ahead and sew it with our clearing. You sew it with the clearing before adding it to our sleeve. So but first off, we'll have to cut the sleeve, because the sleeve, there have to be a base, a platform where you're sewing this to. We're not just going to add it to the cloth like that. We have to cut a fitted sleeve. We'll add this to. So now I'm cutting the sleeve. I'm using a sleeve of 8 inches. That's 16 sorry, 7-inch. So I'm adding just 2-inch allowance for my sleeve, and then cutting the crown. So I'm going to cut out the crown. I'm going to cut out the sleeve now and sew it to another base, which is the flare, just as seen in the picture. Okay, so after cutting my sleeve, I'm going to sew it to the base, the lace base, that just as is seen in the picture. Do well to like our page, follow and subscribe to get more videos like this, more videos of this. So this is our sleeve. We'll take it to our sewing machine now and then join it with the lace base that we are sewing it to. Okay, so if you're not using any interface, I didn't use any interface for this in particular because I have my lace base. But if you're not using a lace base, then you can just use your ankara with an interface and then cover it with a lining. So after doing that, I've joined this with my lace. So I'm just going to go ahead and use my chalk and draw a circle, draw a spiral line to show where I'll be sewing my flowers to. Okay, so this is me drawing the spiral line to show where I'll be sewing my flowers to. So this way is going to touch the crown of my sleeve and also the lace part, so you don't see the part where the lace and the ankara meets each other. So now we'll go ahead and sew the clearing to our flowers. After sewing that, you take it to you turn it, take your time and turn it. Some people like to top stitch, but in this case it wasn't really necessary to top stitch. Then you take it to the iron. Very important, I'm pouring water on it before ironing so that it can sleep properly and lay very flat. Okay, so after doing this, I'll take it and set my machine to 5, to the loose stitch, to a loose stitch, so that I can do a gathers, like I can gather the mouth of my flowers when I'm done with my loose stitch. Okay, so this is it. After doing the loose stitch, we draw it in order for it to have something that looks like gathers. So this is us drawing it. Okay, so after this, we take it back to the fabric and sew on the line, those original lines that we created. We sew it as it's on the gathers form, like while it's gathered, like the way we drew it, we'll sew it like that on the sleeve we already cut, the sleeve we cut and we've joined with our lace. We'll sew it like that on the sleeve. Please leave a comment below on the comment section. Tell us if this was helpful, and like our page and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thank you. So it's just sewing. As you sew, it's advisable you shift your gathers. In case it's too full, you can readjust it so you don't have it's being too clustered. Okay, so we're just going to sew on that spiral line we created on the sleeve, so just sew like this. We're almost done. You can see I'm readjusting the sleeve as I sew. I'm readjusting it. The smaller the circle gets, the tougher it is to sew. It's advisable you use a zip presser foot for this particular stage, but I'm using the regular presser foot, but for it to be a little bit more easier, it's advisable you use a zip presser foot for this particular stage. So there we go, we already have our sleeve looking at what we had in mind before making this. And yes, when you get to the mouth, you just fold the rough edge and then do a stitch over it. You can turn it to the other direction and just do like a stitch over it, so it doesn't lose or start getting opened up. So now this is our sleeve. We are done. Tell me if this was helpful. Tell me if you like it, and like and share for more. Thank you.